Welcome to the University of North Georgia Political Science and International Affairs Department's YouTube channel. In this segment of our Meet Our Students series, you'll have the opportunity to meet Senior Strategic and Security Studies Major Benjamin Smith. When Ben came to UNG from Decatur, Tennessee to join the Boar's Head Brigade, little did he know that 3 years later he would have the singular distinction of being named the #1 graduating cadet among 5,538 ROTC cadets from across the entire United States. We caught up with Ben recently to chat about his time at UNG with the PSIA department and the Corps of Cadets and his justly earned recognition. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
To start us off, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Who is
Yes,
Ben
sir.
Smith really?
Yes, sir. So I'm from a small town in East Tennessee, Decatur. It's middle of nowhere. It's in between Knoxville and Chattanooga. I went to Meigs County High School. Played football. That was really my first love. So I thought I wanted to play in college. I played since age of 4 until senior year, but then found out about University of North Georgia through my dad. Believe it or not, I'm only 2.5 hours north, but I didn't know about the school at all until my dad did some research. And at that time, I decided I want to be an Army officer. I'd actually pinned that down from a pretty young age, like probably 8 or 9. I decided, I want to be an Army officer. I want to be an infantry officer specifically. So I wanted to play football and wanted to be in the Army and go to school and do ROTC. That's about all I knew. And then my dad did some research, and I took a visit. Decided that my football time was over, and I ended up coming here, and it's been the best decision I've ever made.
What got you into our Strategic and Security Studies program as an undergrad, and why that degree? And maybe related, maybe not to what you just said, but why here at UNG?
So I was initially looking at it. I had no idea what I wanted to major in. I knew I've always been interested in military history, big reader in military history, geopolitics. So I knew that was my interest, but I didn't really consider majoring in it because I didn't really know it was offered until we started getting online with my dad and looking at the majors, and I saw this one, and I was going between strategic and security studies and I think finance, which I really had no interest in, but at the time I thought it sounded practical. But then I really thought about it, and I'm going to be an infantry officer. I'm going to be an officer. It's going to be my first profession, so may as well do something that one I enjoy, and two it helps me be a better officer. So I started looking through some of the classes in the program, and I mean, I fell in love with the idea of doing something that I enjoy. I enjoy reading military history and studying geopolitics. So it was a pretty easy decision once I found out about the program.
Well, awesome. Well, you just received special recognition from the U.S. Army's Cadet Command, and I mentioned it a little earlier in the introduction, but tell us in your own words, Ben, what this recognition was.
So the recognition is I was the #1 cadet on the national OML. So the OML is the Order of Merit list. And pretty much from the second you come in as a freshman, you start acquiring OML. And it's based on several factors. There's a big spreadsheet, changes every year, but the big ones are your grades. GPA is a huge one. Uh, your camp. So in between your junior and senior year, you get we call it camp, but cadet summer training is the official term for it. You'll get a leadership grade and a PT grade, and all that will come from camp. So that's, I think, the single biggest factor along with GPA. And then there's also your PT score is a big factor. So I had a perfect AFT Army Fitness Test score, which helped a lot. And then there's another extracurricular leadership block. So I'm involved in some specialty units and been on Ranger Challenge and commander of a specialty unit now, Mountain Order Colombo. So it's pretty much a culmination, a bunch of evaluations on grades, fitness, leadership, how you do at camp. If you've been to any specialty schools, during the summer, so they rack and stack everybody from 1 to whatever 5,500 or 5,400 or however many there were in my class. So I ended up having the most sessions points, and that goes into branching.
That's quite an honor. Did you know you have a predecessor from the Boar's Head Brigade that's also a member of our extended PSIA family? Jonathan Strickland, our 2014
Strickland.
grad. I have another question on the topic, and most importantly, maybe from a more personal perspective, Ben, what makes this recognition special for you?
This may sound superficial, but truly the recognition doesn't mean a whole lot to me personally. for my ego or my pride or whatever. But what it really means to me is that I can I can reflect. It reflects well on the school. First off, in the units I'm in, the special unit I'm a part of, and I think it'll outlive me. So even when I'm gone, people are going to forget my name. But what makes me happy is knowing that it reflects well on the school, on the program. It gets us national recognition, and then I can leverage that into resources and good things for the school and the people I'm around. So honestly, for me, I may just sound like I'm trying to be humble, but it really doesn't mean anything. It's just a reflection of the program that I've been blessed to be a part of, and I've surrounded myself by people a lot smarter and better than me. But what makes me happy is knowing that it's going to outlast me, and in 10, 20 years, they not may not know my name, but they'll know that the number one guy came from UNG. He came from Mount North Colombo, etc. So that's the
Well,
honest answer.
yeah, well, awesome, Ben. Going back to the classroom and looking back at your time here with the PSIA family and the department up to now, is there any particular aspect of your 3+ years here that have been particularly enriching or that you would love to do again if given the opportunity?
I'll say the first thing is the internship I did through the program. So my in between my freshman and sophomore year, I got super lucky to get an internship in Latvia, and then attached to that was a Polish mountaineering course. So I spent 8 weeks in Latvia and Poland. I got to live and train with the Latvians. We got to do a 3 week field exercise. Got to shoot everything in the arsenal. Work with the Latvians in Spanish, and that was a pretty incredible experience. Someone who had never been out of the country to spend 2 months, my first summer here, living with a foreign military. That so first off, that's got to be the highlight. And then second, I'll say I've taken a few really good classes. One that stood out was global issues with Dr. Miner, super basic class for an intro level class, but one that I really liked a lot and opened my eyes. And then Dr. Beal is off. I've taken American military history and War and Society. Dr. Beal is rough on your GPA, but no doubt you learn a lot. So even though he's taking a hit on my GPA, I've learned a ton from Dr. Bill. He's a top-notch professor.
As a follow-on, and you've touched on it a little bit, I think, but what's on the immediate horizon for soon-to-be Second Lieutenant Ben Smith? And in that regard, what experiences from our program here at UNG have been most meaningful up to now? And I guess maybe you mentioned it with your time in Europe, but which do you anticipate being most meaningful to your future career?
So what's on the horizon for me is I will commission in May, and I'll go in. I'll go to my basic course, and then hopefully I'll get my branch in December, and I'm hoping for infantry. But you rank every branch, so I'll get what they give me. But I'm hoping for infantry, and then I'll go to my basic course, and I'll go to Ranger School, and then I'll go off to my unit. And what I think translates the best towards that, or what's helped me prepare me for that, I think the internship, no doubt. You can't replicate living with a foreign military for 2 months and getting to see how they do things. So I get thrown in. I'd only been here a year and knew very little, and then I got thrown into that, and I learned a ton. So I think that's an experience that not many of my peers will have gotten, and has been afforded to me because of the program. And then I get second, I would say, just the breadth of understanding of both how the U.S. military works on a larger scale, and then how we interact with foreign militaries. Um, you get all the tacticals, the smaller level stuff here, and everyone gets that. But doing strategic and security studies, you get a broader understanding of how both our military works, but also how other militaries work.
In closing, Ben, what do you have to say to our viewers who either prospective students, as you were several years ago, or former students, as you will be come next spring, at both the undergraduate and perhaps even at the graduate level?
Mhm. To the cadets, I would say pay attention and get the most out of the major because it can have a direct impact on making you a better officer. I think it translates extraordinarily well to being an officer, even being a lieutenant, even though most of the stuff we look at is higher level stuff. As a lieutenant, you're a platoon leader. Still think it teaches you how to analyze battles. It teaches you how to analyze military history, and it definitely makes you a better officer. to the non-cadets and to everyone in general, I would say similar sentiments. I think it's a blessing to be able to have a degree like this and have a area of study that not many schools offer. It's one that I've enjoyed a lot. Uh, it doesn't seem like a chore to me, and though I'm not a big fan of school. There are a lot of things I'd rather be doing. I definitely enjoy the major, and I enjoyed a lot of classes I've taken.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for your time, Ben. I know you're a busy man, especially as we're video recording this and coming towards the end of your second to last semester here at UNG.
So,
Wish you, on behalf of the department, all the best as you continue your life journey and your Army career. Sincerely hope you will continue to experience more with the help of your time with us here in UNG's Political Science and International Affairs Department.
Sarah, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you very much.